Today we are going to talk about some sleeves. We want to draw a kimono sleeve, and so we left click. We have our pen tool. We're doing left clicking and we're shaping it accordingly. Pay attention to the way it's shaped. One click, okay. And the kimono sleeve is not like the fitted sleeve where you have that's a separate piece that you do. This is continuous with the garment. So here I'm going to add 2 points and I would like to curve this area. So to curve this area, you can eliminate this edit pattern tool, take the edit pattern tool, eliminate this point there, convert it to a curve point. And if you need to curve areas, you need some points. So this is one way you can do it. Or what you can do is you can also add curve points and you can curve it or eliminate those points using the convert to curve point tool. If you delete that point, then it becomes, the important thing is that area has to be curved because so you curve them and this is the result you will get. So here you can shape them accordingly because these type of kimono sleeve and can be long, they can be shorter, depends on what you like. You can just play around with the length of it. So I've converted that to the curve point, that last point here. But what I'd like to do is use the edit curve, or the edit arc rather, and just maybe pull this curve out a little. And then to fine tune, I'm going to use the edit curve so that I can add points and sort of like shape the side of the garment. So I'm going to add some points to shape. Note the way I'm pulling it out. You see how it's shaping up. Very useful tool for shaping. So here I'm going to click and drag down this point in order to shape the neckline. Set a symmetry axis. It's when you unfold that part of the pattern, you unfold it. So let's pretend it was folded and you unfold it. It's symmetric. Here you'd want to right click to cancel this axis. So set a symmetry axis. When you right click on the pattern, on the line rather, it unfolds the pattern. Here I'm going to copy paste and just put at the back. Then right click and flip it horizontally. Then we are going to segment sew it. you put the pattern pieces close to the avatar so you have less problems when you simulate, because sometimes there's some it gets all bunched up and clipped. So here it's we have one arm we need to one sleeve of the kimono we need to adjust. So we can go to the avatar and we click on skeleton, and yes, we can adjust these things, work with them in different ways. Here I'm going to try to just move the arm upwards to see if that could be sufficient. Avatar skeleton again, and I'm going to simulate. Okay, and let's pull and tug to see if maybe that's enough. Sometimes you can just shift the take off simulation, click on left click on the pattern piece and just slightly move it, and that can do the trick. Okay. But here, no matter what you do, it's not working. It's really clipping inside with the avatar, the material, everything. We can try again. Click on skeleton and click, left click. You here move the arm upwards another little way and you simulate, see what's going on. Now the upper part, it's better. It's, you see, it's like more or less resolve that problem here. Okay, the upper part. But the lower part, it's still problematic. So you're thinking, oh, well, what can I do? Because I've tried everything, but no, not quite everything. What we do is we can go to the fix pin toolbox and we draw out some pins in the area where it's stuck. Okay, note carefully, and we pull them out. We just click and drag them out. The area where this material is stuck, we click and drag them out. Because what we want to do next is we want to simulate, and automatically the material moves towards where the pins were dragged out. Okay, so we've solved the problem. To remove those pins, we go on those pins themselves and left click, and right click rather, and we delete all pins. Right click, delete the pins, simulate, and everything's back to normal. So there are many ways of fixing these problems. Okay, this is one way. So this is the kimono sleeve. Now we want to do the regular sleeve here, but we want to so not really draw it out because you've seen it in the other videos, the previous videos. Here we're going to just put a ready-made garment on our avatar. Here we click on a t-shirt and we're going to add the t-shirt to the in the 3D window so that it's on the avatar already. And when we do that, we want to simulate. Okay, so we simulate, and here we have our t-shirt, and we have our pattern pieces in the 2D window. So we're going to manipulate this sleeve patterns. They are symmetric. They have symmetric editing on. And what we can do is we can make a longer sleeve. We make a long sleeve by using the Edit Pattern tool. So we click on our Edit Pattern tool, we click on this line, and we can just drag it down slowly. And when we slowly dragging it down, we simulate. Otherwise, there's gonna be some clipping and we're gonna have problems. So there, it's all the way down like that, but I mean, look what happens. You see? So you can like do this in a gradual way. We can Control Z to undo, or we can just shorten it. Practice with your tools. We try moving it maybe to see if everything's gonna fit, but no, it's just doesn't. It's not gonna work. When you have these sleeves and they're narrow like that, they just don't fall into place. If they're wider, they can, but narrow like this, usually no. So we make it short again and we go back and we're gonna really slowly this time with the Edit Pattern tool selected. We're gonna slowly click on that line and drag it. Here are the points. You can use points and simulate. Okay, the important thing is the sleeve is covering the arm. Okay. Let's try to go down. Let's try to pull that out. Okay, without too many problems. Okay. And the other one too. Okay, now we want to use the Edit Pattern tool and we're going to just adjust this because we want it to reach up to there, that part. Okay, near the wrist. Here I'm going to lower the arm a bit. Okay. So that when I simulate, everything falls better. So I think it's better like this, lowered. Have less problems with the sleeves. Okay. Let's continue dragging down slowly but surely. Okay. So more or less, this is a long sleeve. Okay, so we've only made it longer. So these sleeves, what we're gonna do with it is we're going to like add a cuff to the sleeve. And you can add a cuff by just drawing another a pattern piece and sewing it on. But it's if you want to make life easier, what you can do is you can already utilize this pattern piece that you have. And I'll show you how to do this. So we click on our pen tool and we're going to just simply draw out a line, okay? No measurements, not too many problems because this is just a simple demonstration as to how you can do it. Edit Pattern tool, okay, we're going to just fix that line, straighten it up a little. Okay, like that. And what we want to do from this sleeve, we want two pattern pieces, okay? So let's pretend that we're going to cut and sew and we make two pattern pieces from this. So what we do with the part that we want to become the cuff, we select with the select move tool, you left click on it, double click in the middle, and we go to the side and we drag those points to make it narrow. Okay? So we're creating this cuff. You see it's becoming a cuff. We can add a color to this cuff so we understand a little better what is going on in the 3D window. We added a fabric because it's better. Okay. Choose a color. And we're going to just drag and drop it onto the cuff. And there it is. Maybe that color could be too dark, but okay, a little lighter is better. Now we're going to continue making this cuff a little more narrower, that is. And even narrower, okay. We simulate, okay. And here it's a long cuff. It looks like it's coming out to be long, but you get the idea. So we don't really have to do a second pattern piece and sew it on necessary. We use what we have. We manipulate it in this way. We can shorten this cuff by just, using the edit pattern tool. Now you see what happens on that sleeve happens on the other because it's all symmetric. Here with the edit pattern tool, we can just shorten it a bit. Okay, that looks better. Yes. Computer is a bit slow today. Click on it again because we need to simulate. Oh, okay. Oops. It's glitching. Okay. Okay, that's better. So we've simulated, we've adjusted the cuff and we've simulated and it's better. We've shortened the cuff. Now we can, yes, you can make the sleeve itself a bit narrower and with the edit curve tool, you can use these points to shape in one way or the other. You can make it even puffier, the sleeve, really big like that. Yes. And see, if you simulate, you see the way it becomes in strange shape. And practice with your shapes. Practice with these tools. Shaping the fabric. And yes, you just now, what I would like to show you is I like to show you, besides making it really puffy and blowing it up like that, I'll show you something different. Simulate and that it gets really, really puffy. if you select the pattern and you go over to the property editor, you can also, you look at these properties. There is a property called pressure, and you can add like, put in a number 4. You simulate and it gets all puffy. So just an example of there where you can take this. This is a real strange shape though. And the way you can make it puffy by increasing, but inflating it or deflating it. Because if you go to the pressure value again and you go to -4, okay, you see those little arrows, you go down to -4. What you do is you deflate the fabric. It just, goes ooh, like you pop a balloon. So these values, the pressure feature, you need to play around with this also, because it's a very, 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 it can be very useful. Now let's go back to 0. Now let's get our sleeve back to the way it was, more or less. Okay. So I'm going to take off simulation. And what I want to do is now I'm going to draw 2 internal lines into sleeve pattern in the 2D window. And I'm going to do that with the pen tool. So we select our pen tool and we begin drawing these lines. Okay, not precise, but we just draw these lines to demonstrate. What we want to do now is we want to add elastic to these lines. So we go to our edit pattern tool. We clicked on our lines. We can select one line at a time, or here we extend, trim, and add point to the outline just to be sure that these lines, they're onto they are on the outline of the pattern. Okay. So we select both lines and we go into our property editor and we want the elasticity, that one, this tool here. So we're going to turn on elasticity, and there we come up again with our strength and ratio, and always playing around with the strength and ratio of this here to we're going to make the sleeve like sort of a puffy on one side and on the other side too.